In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you the modeling tools that are going to help us with our upcoming 3D self-portrait. So the tools that we're going to cover in this video are going to be the Boolean modifier and the solidify modifier. I'm also going to cover the option and the ability to be able to hide a mesh. So hiding a mesh is really easy, so we'll cover that one first. So with your mesh selected, and I've got the cube here, come up here to the top right hand corner and you'll see that we have the outliner view. You'll see that I've got my camera, cube, and lamp. To the right of all three of these, I've got three icons. I'm going to go ahead and left click on my cube, and you will notice that you can actually left click to select things up here in the outliner. However, throughout the rest of Blender, you have to right click to select, so it's a little confusing there. Moving on, when I have the cube selected, all I need to do is come over here and I've got the little eyeball, the little arrow, and the little camera. So we just want to pay attention to the eyeball. And when you close the eyeball, the cube is temporarily hidden. Okay, that's it. So let's go ahead and do a Boolean modifier. So to do a Boolean operation, you have to have at least two objects. One object that's going to be cut, and one object that is going to do the cutting. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and make the cube the object that's going to get cut. So I'm going to change over to my cycles rendering engine up here in the top middle. Then I'm going to come over here and just give the cube a quick material. So I'm going to click on the material panel. I'm going to come over here and I have to click on this button here called Use Nodes. And now I'm in cycles. Okay, and I'll go ahead and give the cube a nice turquoise color. And we can't see it because of my viewing options. So I could come down here and change from solid to material, and there you go. I could also split my view, and I could change this one over here to rendered, and now I can actually see a cycles rendered engine. And to make it a little bit easier, I'll go ahead and move my light down and closer to the cube so you can see better. Okay. Excuse me. So I've got my object that's going to be cut, and now I'm going to go ahead and do Shift A. I'm going to add in a, I think I'll add in a cylinder this time, and this is going to be the object that's going to do the cutting. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have them do an intersection. Okay. So there it is. I've got my two objects, the one that's going to be doing the cutting and the one that's going to do the cut itself, or be cut itself. It doesn't matter if they have different materials. I'll show you. I'm going to add a material to the cylinder, and I'm going to make it a yellow color. You'll see what will happen when two objects have two different materials. So the first thing you have to do is you have to select the object that's going to be cut, in this case the cube. You then come over here to the right, click on the wrench panel here, and that is the modifier panel. Click on Add Modifier. You've got four different categories here. You want the second category here, it's called Generate, and you want Boolean. You'll see that Boolean is in red, telling you that it's not set up properly. So that's because I have to choose over here, I have to choose what the cutting object is going to be, and in this case it's going to be the cylinder. If you have multiple objects, so for instance, if I go ahead and make more cylinders, so if I have multiple cylinders, you'll see that each cylinder has a different name, and you can see that by down here in the bottom left hand corner, whichever one you have selected. So there's cylinder 2, cylinder 1, and just cylinder. So you have to make sure that you know which object you're going to use as the cutting object. Okay, so back to my cube. I'm going to choose cylinder because it's the only thing in the scene. And you'll see that it's done the Boolean operation. And now if I want to see it, I'm going to come back up here to the outliner view, come to the cylinder, which is the cutting object, and hide the cylinder. And what you'll see left is the result of the Boolean operation. And in this case, this is called an intersect operation. And this is where it takes any area that the two objects were intersecting with each other, and it gets rid of everything else. I'm going to go ahead and change this and go to the second type of operation, and that is a union, where the two basically are joined. And that's pretty much it. They're pretty solid. What you will see is that if I were happy with this, and this is what I was going for, if I were to click apply, the true magic in here is that if I went into edit mode, and I'm going to go into wireframe mode, you'll see that it actually does do a cut, and you can see that what the union does is the union figures out where they are, joining together, and you can see that right here. Sorry, it's black, so it's a little tough to see. You can see that they didn't include that part there, so they get rid of everything else. So Blender's smart enough that it knows to get rid of all of that kind of stuff. Okay, go ahead and bring it back here, and I'll undo all of that. Hopefully undo all of that. Okay, and the last one, I'm going to bring the cylinder back. The last one, and this is the most popular one, is called difference. And difference is where you literally just select one object away from the other. So I chose difference, and I'm going to hide the cylinder again, and you can see that what I've got here. I'm going to go ahead and move my light around. There we go, so you can see. And there it is. There is the union, or sorry, the difference. It's carved out. If I were to bring the cylinder back, or actually let me show this to you with the cube selected, if I were to move the cube up and down, you'll see that it will actually go ahead and carve out in real time, so you can kind of decide what you want. Okay, and let's say that's what I wanted. Okay, so if you're completely happy with the union or with the Boolean operation, you can of course go ahead and you can hit apply. So I'm going to go ahead and just hide the cylinder, hit apply. The Boolean has taken effect. I'll hit tab just so you can see it is in fact now permanently part of the object. And that's pretty much it. That's it for the Boolean operation. Okay, the last thing I will show you with the Boolean operation, and then I think I'll go ahead and do the solidify modifier in a different video, so that way you guys can just keep things nice and separate. Is I'm going to show you how to do a double Boolean modifier. So I'm going to just go in here very quickly, give this a color. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in a cutting cube. So this is going to be my cutting object. And there it is there. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the corner like we did in class. And put it there like that. Maybe I'll scale it a little bit just so you can see the effect a little bit more, so it carves out more. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, and I said this was going to be a double cut, so I'm going to go ahead and do Shift D for duplicate. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this along the x-axis. So there we go. You can see it there. Bring my light down so you can hopefully see a little bit better. Okay. Alright, so again, you have to put the Boolean on the object that's going to be cut. So I'm going to take the bigger cube, modifier panel, Boolean, and I know I want to use both of these, so it doesn't really matter which order I do this in, but I like to do it in numerical order. So I'm going to choose cube 1, and it's going to be a difference. And I know already that it's going to work just because of the way it's starting right now. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on this button that says copy. It gives me a copy of the Boolean modifier, and all I need to do now is change the object that's cutting it, in this case the second cube, and then I'll come up here and I need to hide the two cutting objects so I can actually view the Boolean and see if I like it, and I'm happy with it, and there's the cut, and you can see it, and I'm pretty happy with it, so I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. After you've done it, you can pretty much, if you want to, you can reveal the objects again that we're cutting, and you can just go ahead and delete them. If you really don't want to delete them, you can move them off to the side, I guess, but that's pretty much it for the Boolean operator. Okay, I hope this worked out for you, and happy Boolean cutting and joining.